Welcome back to the FAB-Racing British Mini Bikes Championship. Joining me is Philip Buckland from Sweden. Now, Philip, you're a rider with the Bournemouth Kawasaki Racing team. From Sweden, that's the home of rally drivers. What are you doing on two wheels?
I fancy two wheels, not four wheels. No, I've always been, when I started with motocross when I was 3, it's always been two wheels. I've been trying 4 and it's two wheels too much.
Yeah, two wheels too many. Tell us a bit about what you're doing here this weekend.
I'm here and I will be here for a few races during the season to help and mentor all the kids, ambassador for the championship. So for each and every one we will have different objectives that we're going to focus on, and I will be a part of a few of those objectives and help the young riders.
What's the impression you've had of the championship? Yesterday, of course, the practice day. What was your impressions yesterday?
I think it was good. I mean, it's the first race of the season for them. If we look at that, I think the first day went really good. We only have a few small crashes. Otherwise, it was a steady day. Impression general, it's a good championship. A lot of riders, more than I was expected. And I think that the goal for the whole championship over a 10-year period. And that will, the aim is to double the numbers of riders and also get the young riders up in eventually MotoGP. I think that's something we all will work on.
And talking about goals, you've got the first round of your championship at BSB coming up very shortly. What are your hopes and ambitions for this season for yourself?
I think that if we look at the team with Quattruplan, Cool, Kawasaki and their history, they have done a great job in the past. They've always been up there and fight for podiums as well. So if I look at myself this coming season, is to be consistent inside top 10 and also fight for top 5s.
Well, let's kickstart the Junior Minimoto Pro season for 2016, and it's a massive grid for the first round. Casey O'Gorman and Finn Smart, Bailey Stewart-Campbell and Karis Jones on the first 2 rows, Corey Stainer, Evan Belford, Owen Mellor, Ollie Walker, Emmanuel Brinton is there in the top 10 as well. Keep an eye on the likes of Ryan Hitchcock, Mason Johnson and Saffron Watley, but there's 23 riders in this field. It's the biggest we've had for this class. Away we go. Is Casey O'Gorman going to get the good start? He certainly looks to have done, up to the first chicane, and it is all going swimmingly for Casey O'Gorman out in front. What a textbook getaway. But it's a joy, Alan, to see so many riders picking their way through the S's.
It certainly is, and not least, just noticed there, Jake, Karis Jones. We had a look at Cameron Saul in that first race, midfield runner last year. Karis Jones likewise. She's P4 here. She's in 5th place there currently, but started P4. Great to see the young riders progressing, getting better. We absolutely love it. And this guy, Casey O'Gorman, we know has got major quality, Jake.
Yeah, absolutely. He was one of the stars of last season, and a lot of people are tipping him for championship glory in 2016. But what an amazing set of conditions to have to fight through in the first round. Finn Smart there, the 14. Aged just 8 years of age, qualified in 2nd. He's currently there still, so he's having to fend off. Look at the conditions here at Llandow, so much standing water.
Bailey Stewart-Campbell, Jake, down the inside for 2nd. Bailey through to 2nd place. We saw his brother Taylor crashing in that first race, but Bailey, again, another rider who was riding in the midfield last year. He's not riding in the midfield this year. He's already right up at the front. It's great to see these riders making the transition, and clearly he's made a big transition during the winter as we see Casey O'Gorman sweeping past the 828 bike Mason Johnson.
Yeah.
Mason obviously got a problem with the bike.
That is a real shame for Mason Johnson. We know he's a lot faster a rider than that. He's clearly got some mechanical gremlins with the bike, and that's cost Finn Smart. Finn Smart has lost a position there to Corey Stainer. So Stainer, that was a really well executed move there. Tricky conditions. He only had a narrow window of opportunity to get that move done. He had to use Mason Johnson to his advantage there. He pounced and he's really made advantage, and now Finn Smart is under even more pressure there. Who is that on his
Jones
tail? That is Karis Jones. What a sensation. She is turning. Oh! That's O'Gorman. That's the leader. Casey O'Gorman has gone down at the final hairpin. Oh my word, down to the hanger straight. He's obviously slammed on the brakes, trying to get it stopped, but the circuit is changing every single lap. Where he might have braked on the last lap will probably not be the same place this lap, and he has been caught out. That just shows you. Let's watch again. Look, he's under braking. The bike just doesn't want to work with him.
Yeah, that is the karting line. Lots of rubber on that part of the circuit, and of course when it rains it becomes like ice. He's gone down hard, but just look at the character again. We know this from Casey. Goes down hard, just gets up and runs across to pick the bike up.
Get
this
back
is the
on
battle
and get
for
on with-
second.
Oh, this
Karis
is very
Jones
good.
up the inside. Go on,
What a
Karis.
sweet move from Karis Jones, the 13-year-old from Swansea. Again, 12 months ago, this was a completely different rider, and look at the confidence she's got. Not only running up in second position, but look at the line she took through that sweeping right-hander. It's almost as if she knows this place better than anybody else. She's got so much grip on the outside line.
She is the Welsh lady. We're on a Welsh circuit. Here's the race leader, Bailey Stewart Campbell, well out front, amazing. But Karis Jones, equally an amazing story. And also in behind there, Corey Stainer doing well as well. Bailey Stewart Campbell got the fastest laps, half a second quicker than anybody else as they come into the hook.
I'm just going to throw out the script that I had coming. Oh, it's Karis Jones! Karis Jones has gone down. I don't believe it. I was just about to say I'm going to throw out the script that I'd written in terms of what we can expect to see in 2016, because Karis Jones is rewriting the book, and unfortunately in the hook she drops it. Not her fault at all. Again, really tricky conditions. Let's look. That's the perfect line. Makes the switch, the bike just goes, no, I don't want to play ball.
Complete low side right into the left-hander at the hook. That is an absolute sickener. Sickener, but again, we said it before, Jake, got to take the positives, Karis, out of the weekend. Amazing transformation from last year to this, now a front runner.
I want to see what she's like when it's bone dry, because she's going to be a force to reckon with. Now, we've got a very interesting battle up front as a result of that. Well, we've lost O'Gorman, we've lost Jones into the last lap, and it's going to be up to this man to hold it all together at the front. He's worked so hard since he took the lead, Bailey Stewart Campbell. It's now up to him to keep this result, but Corey Stainer is still very close indeed. He can't afford to let up.
He's in amongst the traffic. Well, he's just got to be steady here. Doesn't need to make any silly moves. The 43 there is Ryan Hitchcock. Now, he was on pole here last year in the rookie class. Crashed out on lap 1, of course. That's James Cook, the 44. From the 8-year-old, Scott Redding Academy. Bailey just tiptoeing his way past.
Yeah,
doesn't need to do anything silly.
That's really mature riding from Bailey Stewart Campbell, because he knows he's got the lead of the race here. He could be super impressive and slice his way through the back markers, but no, that's when you can let a mistake creep in. He's so confident out in front. It's a tricky condition.
See his dad there down the straight.
Yes, come on, just keep it going. You're almost there, buddy. Into the final turn, and it is going to be a victory for Bailey Stewart Campbell. What a ride in very tricky conditions, and that is the perfect way to get his season up and running. Corey Stainer, the 34, comes through for second, and look, he's really delighted with that. Third position, Finn Smart. That's a comfortable ride for him, and again, a very useful podium at this early stage of the season. Ollie Walker through in fourth position in front of Evan Belford. We should point out, just outside the top 5, it's Emmanuel Brinton who came home in 6th position, and Casey O'Gorman fought his way back to 7th place. Good ride from him in difficult circumstances, but Bailey Stewart Campbell, he kept his nerve and he didn't crack under the pressure. Truly solid ride.
Bailey, what an amazing start to the season for you. Pretty much a midfield runner last year, but this year, right at the top of the tree. You must love those conditions.
Yeah, I do like the wet conditions, especially at Llandow because it's grippy, but then like stuff like other places that are wet.
And what are you hoping for from the season? Are you hoping to win the championship?
Well, at least come in the top 3 of the championship.
Well, that was race 1 of the weekend. In races 2 and 3, Casey O'Gorman took the wins, but at the end of the weekend it was still Bailey Stewart Campbell who had the championship lead by 2 points from Casey O'Gorman, with Finn Smart 3rd, Corey Stainer 4th and Karis Jones in 5th. Just time to bring you highlights of the Pit Bike Open race. Decent grid of 15 took part. It would be the usual suspects though, Nesbitt, Cook, Toms and Horseman that would dominate. It was Charlie Nesbitt out front at this stage, but Nesbitt crashed 3 times while leading last year. Surely he's not going to go from lights to flag and keep it upright in these conditions, was he? Well, let's have a look. That's Richard Holmes Williams there on the 126 bike in 2nd place. Max Cook on the 30 in 3rd, 20 going through the picture, that's Blake Ansell. He would have a crash in the right-hander at Chandler's. That was the first one of the race, but it wouldn't be the last. He'd get up, dust himself down, get back on, but then he'd be off again in the hook sometime later. It was Nesbitt that led at this stage from Max Cook, the 30. That looks like TJ Toms, but he's got number 7 on the bike. Surely that's wrong. He should be number 6 on the timesheets. We think that's TJ. And if it is, he owes a fine of £1,500 to the race organisers for running the wrong number, which of course they have to split with us. It was Nesbitt that was still upright, amazingly so at this stage, leading but hounded by the 30 bike of Max Cook, chasing him home. These two riders have a massive career looming in BSB. Kieran Kent will be out on the last lap with mechanical failure. By the end, it was Charlie Nesbitt that took the win from Max in second place. TJ would hold on for third, with Cameron Horseman coming home in fourth and Adam Stainer fifth. That was the first of the weekend's 3 races. It was Max Cook that went on to win race 2. Fraser Rogers, remember him? He would win race 3. The championship points after round 1 would look like this. Join us after the break for more race action.